Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'll be making a tutorial to show you how to change the bulbs in your headlights for your Porsche 986. Each headlight contains 3 bulbs, one for high beams, one for low beams, and one for the fog lamps. Fortunately, all 3 bulbs are the same, so you don't have to go hunting for any kind of special bulb or anything. I believe you can buy a pack of 2 for under $5 on Amazon. Anyone can perform this repair. It's like the easiest thing you can do on this car. If you're going to replace all 3 bulbs on one headlight, it may take you like 5 to 10 minutes, and there aren't very many tools that are special for this process. Well, enough rambling, let's go ahead and get started. So these are the tools that you will need. The only mandatory one is the socket wrench with a 5mm tip. You may need a little bit of an extender, not this length, but maybe some kind of an extender. Or optionally, if you have a Porsche toolkit, it'll also come in there. So this is what it looks like. Of course, you will need the bulbs. All 6 of them are H7s. You may need channel locks, which I'll show you a little bit later, is to remove the fog lamp light. And if you're going to use a socket wrench, there is a chance your tips will fall off, and you will need some needle nose pliers to retrieve them. The first step in this process is to get the headlight assembly out in order to get to the bulbs. And to do that, we'll go ahead and pop the hood first. And towards the front, you will notice 2 plastic bits that you can twist. I already went ahead and twisted this one all the way out. But once you get that loosened, you can pull the lining out, and you will notice a hole with a nut in there. This is where the 5mm socket will come in handy. I'm going to go ahead and use the tool that came in the Porsche toolkit, so I don't have to go in there and retrieve the socket if it falls out. Once you have that in there, you will push it clockwise. You'll notice a pop, and go ahead and twist it a little bit more until you can't twist it anymore. It should be like maybe a little bit over 180 degrees. You'll notice that the headlight did pop out a little bit, but if you try to pull it out, you may have some issues. So what I like to do is go ahead and twist it counterclockwise a little bit. And once you can't do that anymore, remove your tool, and you should be able to pull your headlight out without any issues. Whenever you're using your tool initially, I think this piece may be in an odd position, so that's why you have to twist it counterclockwise a little bit for it to readjust itself, and you can pull the headlight assembly out just fine. Once you get the headlight pulled out of the vehicle, there will be 2 spots to where you can open it, one being right here. If you twist this counterclockwise, it'll pop right open, and that is where the bulb to your fog lamps are. And there's the very back of it. If you press this tab right here, it'll just open up like that, and you will have your low beams and your high beams. Once you get to this point, it's pretty easy. All 3 bulbs, they require the same processes to replace. So first you want to go ahead and pull off this plastic piece. It requires a little bit of force, and under that you will see a metal piece that's wrapped around it. If you press down and move it towards the right, it'll unlatch it, and the bulb just comes out like that. You'll notice that the metal plate around the bulb is cut off right here. That will indicate how the bulb will go inside its housing. So if you look at this, that insert right there, that is where the cutout on the metal plate on the bulb goes. So there's no confusion there. And once you have the bulb in place, take the metal wiring, or whatever this is called, push it back into its locks. And last but not least, plug this piece back in, and you're good to go. As you can see with the fog lamp bulb, your fingers are way too small to fit in there to pull that plug out. So what I like to do is you can either take some channel locks or some kind of pliers and reach in there and pull that out. Make sure you're careful and you don't squeeze too tight, or else you may crack the plastic. Once you get that piece unplugged, you can see where the engineers were a little bit nicer to us. The wiring that runs around it, it is elevated towards the opening, so you can press that down and get it unlatched and replace the bulb. I do recommend using gloves or maybe a screwdriver with this, because that one's a little bit more difficult to get unlatched. Once you get your bulbs replaced, reassembly is pretty easy. On the back plastic panel, if you take it and align these two holes with the hinges on it, and then press down towards the latch, it should click into place. And with the fog lamp light bulb on the cap, you should see these two indentions right there and right there. If you align them up with the two tabs on the hole, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, right next to my thumb and right across from it, there's those two tabs. If you realign that, it can be a little bit difficult, and twist it clockwise, it'll click back into place. Getting the headlight assembly back into its spot can be a little bit difficult, but if you look towards the bottom of the assembly, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs on it, and that will go right onto the tracks located on the left, the small one right here, and this little bit bigger one towards the back right. If you get that into place, your headlight assembly should slide back into place without any issues. Once you get your headlight assembly back into place, it should fit pretty flush even before you lock it into place. So you just want to verify that it isn't poking out in odd places before we go ahead and lock it. Alright, once that's verified, go ahead and take your tool and twist that nut inside the hole counterclockwise or towards you, and it should pop right back into place. Oh. And of course, once you do that with the socket wrench, your sockets may fall off the wrench. Alright guys, well that'll conclude this tutorial. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys again next Sunday.